Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something that hits close to home for a lot of us, that age-related joint discomfort. You know, the stiffness, the aches that just sort of creep in and make simple things, well, feel a lot harder than they should. It's something I personally dealt with, which really got me digging into the science. Before I kind of figured things out, my mornings were rough. Honestly, my knees felt like rusty hinges. Things I love, like getting down in the garden or even just a nice long evening walk, suddenly felt like climbing a mountain. And I tried the usual stuff, glucosamine supplements, physical therapy, you name it.
Right.
But nothing really seemed to provide that lasting relief I was searching for. Felt like I had more questions than answers. But then I stumbled onto some really fascinating research about how scientists are looking at joint health differently now, focusing on something called synovial fluid. It wasn't even about a specific product at first, just this deeper understanding. We'll unpack that today. And for anyone curious about how this science led to solutions like joint genesis, which honestly changed things for me, you can find out more and get special discounted pricing using the exclusive link right there in the description of this deep dive.
That's a really powerful way to start, and it perfectly sets the stage. Joint health, it's complex, right? For so long, the way we thought about it was pretty fixed. Today, we're going to look at some really compelling research that challenges those older ideas, and we'll explore how that science is leading to new approaches, including doctor-formulated options like joint genesis. So historically, the main story about age-related joint pain was simple. Cartilage just wears away like treads on a tire.
Right. And it makes sense on the surface, doesn't it? I definitely bought into that explanation for years. Most people probably have.
Absolutely. It's an easy analogy. But newer research, especially from places like the University of Connected Health, points to a different culprit.
Hmm?
Or maybe the real culprit. It's our synovial fluid. Think of it like nature's premium motor oil for your joints. When you're young, this fluid is thick, it's viscous, cushiony, allows everything to just glide smoothly. The magic ingredient in that fluid is a molecule called hyaluronin. It's a type of hyaluronic acid. And it's amazing it holds on to water, like over 1,000 times its own weight, turns a little bit into this thick protective gel. The issue isn't just wear and tear on the cartilage. It's that our bodies naturally start making less hyaluronin as we get older. It can start as early as your 30s.
30s. Wow.
Yeah, subtle at first. But by the time you hit 70, you might have lost up to 80% of it. And when that motor oil gets thin and watery, you can't cushion anymore, that's when you get friction, bones rubbing, cartilage damage, inflammation, the whole shebang.
Okay, so the fluid thinning out is the real starting point. That changes everything.
Exactly. It opens up completely new ways to think about addressing the discomfort. And this is where someone like Dr. Mark Weiss comes in. He's a board-certified physician, lots of experience with joint health. He looked at this research and thought, okay, if the root cause is this thinning synovial fluid, then the solution needs to fix that, restore the fluid.
Having a medical doctor formulate something definitely adds credibility, doesn't it? Especially in the supplement world.
It really does. And Dr. Weiss had this fascinating bit of inspiration, too. He learned about this remote village in Japan, Yuzurihara.
Oh, what was special about it?
Well, the elderly folks there, we're talking 80s, 90s, they had incredible mobility, way beyond what's typical. And researchers found they had consistently high levels of hyaluronin throughout their lives.
Naturally high levels. How?
It seemed linked to their traditional diet, certain foods rich in things that support hyaluronin production. So Dr. Weiss basically spent years trying to figure out how to, well, bottle that advantage. That research journey led him to formulate joint genesis. The whole idea is to tackle that root cause, the decline in synovial fluid quality, not just mask the symptoms.
Sort of like getting to the source of the problem.
Precisely. So when we look at products like joint genesis emerging from this science, what makes them stand out? Well, first, as you said, it's doctor formulated. That medical insight is huge.
Absolutely. What else? Quality control must be important too.
Critical. You want to know what you're actually getting. So joint genesis is made in the USA in FDA-registered facilities that follow good manufacturing practices, or CGMP. Plus, third-party testing for purity and potency. That's the gold standard, really.
That's reassuring, especially with supplements.
And then there's the formula itself. It's designed to be clean, vegan-friendly, non-GMO, free of common allergens like gluten, dairy, nuts, soy, eggs, shellfish.
That was important for me too. Makes it accessible for more people.
Right. And it's specifically aimed at adults, usually in that 50 to 70 range, who are noticing those classic signs, the morning stiffness, joints aching when the weather changes, maybe not feeling as flexible. So let's dive a bit deeper into the mechanics. How does it actually work? We mentioned hyaluronic acid, or hyaluronin. Its power comes from binding water. Think about that 1,000 times its weight. That's how it creates that amazing joint cushion. But remember that timeline. Decline starting around 30, maybe 80%, gone by 70. That's why the fluid gets thin. That's the disaster scenario for your joints. Now, this is where specific ingredients come in. Joint Genesis uses something called Mobility. It's not just any hyaluronic acid, it's a patented matrix.
A matrix, what does that mean?
It means it has a specific structure that seems to enhance how your body uses it. Clinical studies on Mobility are pretty striking. They show it can increase hyaluronan levels in the body by 10 times.
Wow, 10 times, that's huge.
It is. And research from places like NYU Tandon School of Engineering suggests it also plays a role in cartilage repair and helps rebalance inflammation. So it's doing more than just lubricating.
Okay, that sounds really promising.
It really is. And, if this science is clicking for you and you're thinking about exploring solutions that use ingredients like Mobility, just a reminder that the link in our description has special discounted pricing for Joint Genesis.
Good reminder. So, Mobily is the star, but is it working alone?
Great question. No, it's usually about synergy, like assembling the Avengers, but for joint health. Joint Genesis uses Mobility as the, let's say, superhero, but it adds a supporting cast. So besides Mobility boosting that hyaluronan, you've got French maritime pine bark extract. Think of it as the protector. Research suggests it's a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Helps fight off some of that damaging stress in the joints. Works well alongside Mobility.
Okay, antioxidant protection. Makes sense. What else?
Then there's ginger root extract, a well-known inflammation fighter. Lots of research. Places like Harvard, Johns Hopkins, show ginger helps calm inflammation and ease pain.
I've heard good things about ginger.
Definitely. And they also include Boswellia serrata extract. You could call this the advanced warrior against inflammation. It works in a slightly different way, inhibiting a key inflammatory enzyme, more sophisticated control.
So multiple angles on inflammation. Smart.
Exactly. And finally, there's biotin. This one's the amplifier. It's a black pepper extract that doesn't directly help joints, but it drastically increases the absorption, the bioavailability of the other ingredients, maybe by up to 2,000%, according to some studies.
Wow, so it makes sure your body actually uses the good stuff.
Precisely. It ensures you're getting the maximum punch from the formula.
That's such a well-rounded approach. You can really see the thought process behind combining those specific ingredients. I felt like that synergy was working when I took it.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And it usually translates into a typical timeline for people. It's not overnight, more like a progressive improvement. So, week 1 to 2, that's the foundation phase. Things might start calming down, inflammation cooling. Week 3 to 4 is often the momentum phase. You might notice less morning stiffness. Movement feels a bit easier.
Yeah, that's when I started really noticing it, that week 3-4 mark.
Right. Then week 5 to 8, the breakthrough phase. That's often when people report significant pain reduction, more obvious flexibility gains, and by week 9 to 12, the victory phase, you're likely feeling the maximum benefits, feeling more like your old self.
Oh, absolutely. That 8-week point for me was huge. Suddenly, I was gardening without dreading standing up. Long walks felt good again, like really good. It wasn't just less pain, it was getting my activities back, my freedom.
That's exactly the kind of real-world benefit people talk about. Restoring that thick synovial fluid means smoother movement. And tackling inflammation from multiple angles helps manage discomfort without necessarily needing NF aids all the time. People get back to hiking, playing with grandkids, gardening, and better sleep. That's a big one. When your joints aren't aching at night, you sleep better.
Definitely. Sleep is huge.
Yeah. So if those kinds of benefits sound good to you, if you're ready for that kind of change, remember you can explore Joint Genesis with that special pricing through the link in the description.
So how does this stack up against things people might already be taking, like glucosamine?
Good comparison. Traditional glucosamine and chondroitin mainly focus on cartilage structure. Joint Genesis, with Mobility, targets the synovial fluid, which the research suggests is that core underlying issue. Plus, people often report seeing results faster, maybe 2-4 weeks versus 8-12 for glucosamine.
Okay, different target. What about prescription painkillers like NSAIDs?
Big difference there is safety, primarily. NSAIDs can work fast for pain, but they come with risks, stomach bleeding, heart issues, kidney problems long term. Joint Genesis aims to address the root cause naturally, promoting long-term health without those side effects or dependency risks. And it's usually much more affordable.
Right, the side effects are a major concern with NSAIDs.
And then you have hyaluronic acid injections. They can help a specific joint, but Joint Genesis is a daily capsule supporting all your joints. It's way more convenient, less expensive than repeated injections, and avoids any injection risks or insurance hassles.
Yeah, going for injections all the time isn't ideal. It really does sound like a more comprehensive, convenient approach. I was so relieved to find something like this after trying other things that just felt incomplete or had downsides.
And safety is always key. The main ingredients, Mobley, Boswellia, they have good track records in studies. Research mentions favorable safety and protective effects without serious adverse events. Generally well tolerated for long-term use.
That's good to know.
Of course, like anything, some people might experience mild side effects, maybe slight stomach sensitivity. Taking it with food usually helps that. And it's always smart to check with your doctor if you're on blood thinners because of the ginger, or if you're pregnant, nursing, or have other health conditions.
Standard precautions make sense.
But quality control is their FDA-registered facility, CGMP certified, third-party tested. They take it seriously.
I can vouch for that part. I had zero side effects. And it was super easy, just one capsule in the morning.
That's the idea. Keep it simple. The simple success formula is just that. One capsule every morning with a glass of water. Consistency is the key. Same time every day helps.
Easy enough to remember.
And a few pro tips can boost results. Taking it in the morning seems to work well for many. Staying really well hydrated is crucial. Remember, hyaluronic acid needs water to work its magic. Gentle movement helps circulate the fluid. And eating anti-inflammatory foods. That supports everything.
Good tips. Makes sense to support it from all angles.
Absolutely. And as we're kind of wrapping up the details here, just one more quick reminder about that special pricing link in the description if you're considering giving it a try.
So if someone decides they want to try it, where do they get it?
It's only available through the official Biodynamics website. That's deliberate. It protects you from counterfeits and ensures you get the real deal, the quality product. They usually offer a few options, like a 1-month starter pack, a 3-month popular choice, which saves some money and might come with bonuses like ebooks, and then the 6-month best value option.
Which usually has the biggest savings.
Typically, yes. Maximum savings per bottle, often free shipping, plus the bonuses. When you break down the daily cost, especially for the 6-month supply, it's often less than a fancy coffee. And certainly way less than ongoing PT, prescriptions, or injections.
I went for the 6-month option myself. It felt like a proper investment in feeling better long-term, not just a quick fix cost. Totally worth it for me.
And that investment feels even safer because of their guarantee. It's pretty impressive, a full 180-day money-back guarantee.
6 months. Wow.
Yep, 6 months. You can try for that long, and if you're not happy for any reason, you can get a full refund. Even if you've used up the bottles. It makes trying it completely risk-free.
Honestly, that guarantee was huge for me. It showed they really stand behind the product, and it gave me the confidence to just go for it. Nothing to lose.
Exactly. So a couple of quick questions we often hear people ask: how fast will I see results? Like we said, some initial improvements often in 2-4 weeks, but the bigger benefits usually build up over 8-12 weeks.
Patience is key then.
It is. And is it safe long-term? Generally, yes, the ingredients have strong safety profiles. Can I take it with my medications? Mostly compatible, but always best practice to check with your doctor, especially with blood thinners.
Right. Always check.
And what makes it different from glucosamine? Again, it targets the synovial fluid restoration, the root cause, rather than just cartilage support. And why not in stores? Direct-to-consumer maintains quality and authenticity.
Those were all questions I had too. It's good to have those clear answers based on the science.
So, wrapping it all up, our final verdict. Looking at the science, the doctor formulation, the specific patented ingredients like Mobley, the positive user feedback reportedly 4.8 out of 5 from thousands of reviews, and that ironclad guarantee. Joint Genesis really appears to be a legitimate science-backed approach. It tackles the root cause identified in recent research, uses high-quality ingredients, and has a strong safety profile. Sure, results take time, everyone's body is different, and it's only online. It won't fix joints needing surgery. But for adults, say 50 plus, looking for a natural, effective way to support joint health, stay active, and who are willing to be consistent, it seems like a very strong contender.
I couldn't agree more. From my own experience, getting to the root cause wasn't just about less pain. It was about getting my life back, feeling capable, feeling free again. It's honestly been transformative.
And that really highlights the bigger picture, doesn't it? When we understand these fundamental mechanisms in our body, like how crucial synovial fluid is, it opens up really exciting paths to better health and well-being.
It really does. So let me ask you listening, what have you put on hold because your joints weren't cooperating? What activity do you miss? Imagine getting that back. Moving easily without that constant nagging discomfort. What would that feel like for you? If you're ready to find out if something like Joint Genesis can help you reclaim that feeling, seriously, use the exclusive link in the description right now. Get the special discounted pricing, try it out risk-free with that 180-day guarantee, and start your journey back to feeling your best. You absolutely deserve that.